Does the pressure ever get too great? I know that your life is, you referred to it as a sort of almost corny story because you really, all the cliches, rags to riches, your parents came over as immigrants, you had no money, your father was a peddler, as I remember.
That's right.
All of that. You've said that it's almost a B-movie plot,
Well,
the story of
it
your life.
Almost, it really is. You know, when I did a tour for the State Department, my wife and I, we went around talking to students all over the world, and you see, my life, that B story, is the, you know, it's the American story. It's the thing that's a B story here. It's an A story in any other country. It happens often here, but you go outside of the United States, it doesn't happen very often. I mean, I have many friends whose parents were immigrants, who struggled like I did, didn't have enough to eat, and then they went off to become lawyers, you know, doctors, and then a few go wrong like myself and become actors.
Yeah. But it's really a dream come true, in a sense, in that cliche sense. Was there ever a time when you really had the dream, I will be a famous actor someday, or did it just unfold?
You know, after I graduated from St. Lawrence University, Dick, I was working, I was going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, studying to be an actor, and I was working as a waiter in Schraff's restaurant. And I remember one night, I had my pocket full of tips, and I was walking down Central Park. I'd had a few beers, and a few of the other waiters, who all would-be actors, were walking down, and I pointed up to the Hampshire House, and I said, one of these days, I said, I'm going to come back to this town, and I'm going to take a suite on the 25th floor, and I'm going to look down at this park. And it was wonderful having this dream. And sure enough, in B-story fashion, years later, I did a picture Champion. I came back to New York, and I took a suite on the 25th floor, and I looked down at Central Park, and very honestly, I was rather sad. And I felt as if, I think what happens is when a dream is fulfilled, it leaves with it a certain amount of sadness. So I think that you always have to have another dream quickly to replace the dream. I don't think that...
What can you do, though, beyond that? The 28th floor? Or,
No, but seriously, you have to always strive. You have to have something that you have to strive for, or you're robbed. I mean, Tennessee Williams deals with this in a preface in one of his books. He calls it the catastrophe of success, in which he explains this feeling that happened to him. And so I think a fulfillment of one dream should be replaced with another dream. Do you dream a lot, by the way?
Do I dream a lot?
Do you have dreams?
Oh, yeah. I have some that would curl your beard. But television is hardly the place to talk about them. But I don't remember. Yeah, I have a corny one once. I don't think I ever told anybody this, but I once was... Do you want to hear it?
Listen.
Do you have a degree in psychiatry? Can you help me?
No, but I'm very sympathetic and I'm a good listener, and I want to hear about this.
I was crossing Madison Avenue one time, and I was a really out-of-work actor. I can remember a nickel rolled off the bureau one morning, and it went down where I could never get on the floor. And I thought, that's how poor I am. I'm going to have to walk to work. I was going to take the subway with that nickel and it done. And I was walking around that day, and I was really discouraged. I was making the rounds, and I saw a silver spire on top of a building that the sun hit just right. And I thought, that's a sign that my career is going to take an upward turn, and
Where did
I'm
you
going
go
to come
wrong?
I don't know. And you know, nothing happened for years after that. No, but I remember thinking that's like in a movie. There's that silver spire,
but seriously, Dick.
But now here I am on television talking to Kirk Douglas, and it's an empty experience.
No, I tell you,
just like you said.
But I tell you, Dick, I tell you why. I tell you why. I tell you why you failed. You see, you heard. Look, Dick, we talk about image.
Yes.
You see what I mean? Now, I used to come on a television show the way you are. I always wore a tie, a shirt.
Yeah.
You see, that's the wrong image. Now, you watch the up-and-coming people now. Never wear a tie, never sit, you know. If you took off the tie, seriously, Dick. I mean, take off the tie. Unbutton, not too low. No, this is a family show.
I'll just loosen it.
Now you're a hit, right?
Yeah. Wait a minute, I'm getting my compulsion. You've released my compulsion. I take my shirt off at the oddest times. Yeah. Now, if you were really a loose guy like you're telling me to be, you'd take your shirt off.
you don't.
See a chicken or not? What, you have another dimple we don't know about? I'm sorry,
I'm a neighbor.
See, when the mood passes, I don't know what to do.
You know, as it is, I'm in trouble with my wife. The last thing she said to me is, when you go on Dick Cavett's show, please, it's a very dignified, he's a very erudite fellow. Please be dignified. I'm in trouble already.